ang kooperasyon ng bawat isa. Ang pananatili sa loob ng bahay ay isa sa pinakasimple pero pinaka-epektibong paraan para hindi kumalat ang virus. Kunwari, ikaw ang tuldok na ito. Malusog ka at malakas. Lumabas ka ng bahay. Ang hindi mo alam, may nakasalamuha ka ng may COVID-19. Tandaan, mahirap malaman kung sinong may virus, pero madali itong maipasa sa iba. Pwedeng naipasa na pala niya ang virus sa iyo nung umubo siya o bumahin. O baka naman ay nahawa na dahil humawa kayo sa parehong bagay na kontaminado. Ngayon ay mayroon ka na ring COVID-19. Isa ka ng carrier na makakahawa sa iba. Dahil maaaring ilang araw pa bago lumitaw ang sintomas na ubo, sipon, hirap sa paghinga at lagnat. Pwede ring wala kang nararamdamang sintomas, ngunit nakakahawa ka pa rin. Pag-uwi mo sa bahay, maaari mong mahawahan ang iyong pamilya. Kasama na rito ang lolo at lola mo o ang mga magulang mo na may edad. Sila ang may pinakamahina na depensa laban sa virus. Ang mga may sakit sa puso, diabetes, high blood, at iba pang pre-existing conditions at mga buntis, mahina ang panlaban sa COVID-19. Kapag na-infect ang taong mahina ang immune system, posibleng magkaroon siya ng malalang karamdaman at kailanganing dalhin sa ospital. Sa patuloy na paglabas ng bahay at pagpunta sa pampublikong lugar, tinatayang maaari kang makahawa ng 3 pang tao at sila makakahawa ng mas marami pang iba. 20% ng mga nahawa ay maaaring maospital at dadami ng dadami ito habang mas kumakalat pa ang virus. Bukod sa dumaraming COVID-19 patients, marami pang ibang may sakit ang nasa mga pagamutan. Ang mga pasyenteng malubhang-malubha na ang karamdaman, hindi na maaasikaso. Wala ring lugar para sa mga pasyenteng may ibang karamdaman. Kaya nating iwasan ang patuloy na pagkalat ng COVID-19 kung iisipin natin ang kapakanan ng iba. Kailangan nating isipin at kumilos na parang bitbit na natin ang virus para hindi ito kumalat pa sa iba. Sundin ang social distancing. At hanggat maaari, manatili sa loob ng bahay. Kung talagang kinakailangang lumabas, panatilihin ang 1 metrong layo sa ibang tao. Maging malinis din sa katawan at sa kapaligiran. Parating maghugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig. At i-disinfect ang mga bagay na madalas hinahawakan. Ang mahalaga, mapabagal natin ang pagkalat ng COVID-19. Para mas kakaunti ang mga kailangang magpa-ospital at mabawasan ang mga Pilipinong magkakasakit. Magiging epektibo lamang ito kung mananatili tayo sa bahay. Sundin ang social distancing. Isang maliit na sakripisyo para sa buhay ng kapwa nating Pilipino. Tulong-tulong tayo. Let's beat COVID-19.
Sir, change back na.
Nasa na diri karon may galaron mo
Tauhan nga ang brigada eskwela kinahanglan natong magpartisipita, no, gi-encourage na mong tanan nga mag-participate sa ato ang kalihukan tungod kay kini makatabang og dako sa ato ang
providing a warning for the future generation.
During typhoons or when big waves occur, the school becomes flooded with seawater. When heavy rains also come, the school is filled with flood water as its ground is lower than those around.
Magbayanihan na
Hindi mo sa nakobin ko, sir. Hindi mo ka naka-
This is the Division Training of Trainors on Learning Management System or LMS Utilization of the Department of Education and Schools Division of Davao Occidental. This is the Division Training of Trainors on Learning Management System or LMS Utilization of the Department of Education and Schools Division of Davao Occidental.
God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide, hold me closely to his side. With love and strength for each new day, he will make a way. He will make a way. Oh, God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide, hold me closely to his side. With love and strength for each new day, he will make a way. He will make a way.
This is the Division Training of Trainors on Learning Management System or LMS Utilization of the Department of Education and Schools Division of Davao Occidental.
Welcome to the second day of our division training of trainers on the utilization of the Learning Management System or LMS. And today is an exciting day for all of us.
Tama ka dyan, Sir Ralph, because today we are going to talk about unpacking the competencies based on the most essential learning competencies in different learning areas.
That's very exciting at alam kong excited na din ang ating mga teacher participants. But before that, galaw-galaw muna tayo. So Ma'am Ginley, ano po ang ating gagawin?
Yes, I request all the teacher participants and all the viewers out there to please stand and galaw to the time that you have an energizer.
Alright, so I guess our energizer ready? Woo! Tayo muna kayo lahat. Galaw-galaw tayo before tayo magsimula sa ating training for today.
Yes, Sir Val.
Ayan, may iba pa po na hindi pa po tumatayo. Nakita po namin dito virtually.
Yes, those who are there in your homes, respective homes, all of the viewers can go ahead and make some moves.
That's right, especially ngayon na kailangan natin to make ourselves healthy. So kailangan galaw-galaw tayo. I guess our video is ready. So let's begin our exercise for this morning.
Boom boom dance, shake it, boom boom now. Boom boom dance, shake it, boom boom now. Boom boom dance, shake it, boom boom now. Boom boom dance, shake it. Everybody, everybody, everybody. Eu vou chegar dançando e a gente se balança. Vamos mostrar pro mundo todo o poder da dança. Com a mão na cinturinha e começa a descer. Ninguém fica parado, dança eu, dança você. Eu vou chegar dançando e a gente se balança. Vamos mostrar pro mundo todo o poder da dança. Com a mão na cinturinha e começa a descer. Ninguém fica parado, dança eu, dança você. Bora mexer, bora mexer. Bora sim, bora sim, bora mexer. Dançando desse jeito a gente vai curtir. Eu quero alegria pra me divertir. Deixa a batida agora te envolver. Mexendo desse jeito eu vou te enlouquecer. Te enlouquecer, te enlouquecer. Boom boom dance, shake boom boom now. Boom boom dance, shake boom boom now. Boom boom dance, shake boom boom now. Boom boom dance, shake. Everybody, everybody, everybody. Eu vou chegar dançando e a gente se balança. Vamos mostrar pro mundo todo o poder da dança. Com a mão na cinturinha e começa a descer. Ninguém fica parado, dança eu, dança você. Eu vou chegar dançando e a gente se balança. Vamos mostrar pro mundo todo o poder da dança. Com a mão na cinturinha e começa a descer. Ninguém fica parado, dança eu, dança você. Bora mexer, bora mexer. Bora sim, bora sim, bora mexer. Dançando desse jeito a gente vai curtir. Eu quero alegria pra me divertir. Deixa a batida agora te envolver. Mexendo desse jeito eu vou te enlouquecer. Te enlouquecer, te enlouquecer. Dançando desse jeito a gente vai curtir. Eu quero alegria pra me divertir. Deixa a batida agora te envolver. Mexendo desse jeito eu vou te enlouquecer. Te enlouquecer, te enlouquecer. Boom boom dance, shake boom boom now. 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 Boom boom dance, shake boom boom now.
Learning Management System.
Ayan, so energized na ang ating mga teacher participants. They are ready for the day 2 of our division training of trainers. Pero bago yan, let's have a recap first of what transpired during the session yesterday. At I guess Ma'am Jinli will help us to give the recap for the morning session. Ma'am Jinli?
Yes, Sir Ralph, supposed to be our PSDF RDD Lagante should be on air today, but since meron po tayong technical problem, so I will be reading her recap for yesterday's session. Okay. My utmost respect to our school division superintendent, Dr. Lorenzo E. Mendoza, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Jinky B. Fernand, to the two chiefs, Sir Felix and Sir Nilo, division supervisors, fellow district supervisors, learning facilitators, school heads, teacher participants, good morning. I am tasked to recapitulate yesterday morning's undertakings. The program started by the signing of the preliminaries, starting with the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, prayer, and the singing of the regional and provincial hymn. After that, we heard the messages coming from our key officials in the Department of Education. The first message was given by our ASDS Doc Jinky B. Furman, and she said that the pandemic has changed the landscape of our department. She cited some challenges that we are facing nowadays that made us doubt to make things happen. But despite of this pandemic, learning has to continue. We should equip ourselves the best way we can to be able to deliver the quality education to every Filipino learners, especially in the province of Davao Occidental. According to her, learning management system is one of the essential tools of e-learning. There are three things she mentioned about LMS. First, it organized e-content in location. Second, it provides unlimited learning. And third is to easily track the learner's progress and performance. It is as if Ma'am Jinky has a CCTV that she knew that sometimes we do other things while listening to the webinar. Bato-bato sa langit ang matamaan, katawan na lang kay tinuod man pod, pero usahay na. Next to this is the message of our school division superintendent, Dr. Lorenzo E. Mendoza. He expressed the essence of the LMS, not only for areas with increased number of afflicted, but also to the low-risk area as well, since we cannot yet apply the face-to-face instruction. He also conveyed that the target of the activity is for the teachers to have a virtual place where they can keep their teaching learning materials to be used anytime they want and anywhere they go. He hopes that all will be able to get much from the training and expect that anything we learned from here will be shared to our colleagues and especially to the very reason why we do this, for our learners. He also encouraged us to be the best version of ourselves. It was followed by another message from USEC Diosdado San Antonio. He salutes Davao region for taking the steps in order to prepare for school year 2020-2021. He said that we will not go for perfection, but we will go for excellence by making it as a habit and having a mindset of never settling to mediocrity. Instead, we will keep on improving our previous performances. He also shared about his personal and professional experience in leading his team. He believed that people demonstrate a more passionate services when they are not concerned and coerced. He also said that teachers or our co-workers must be treated with respect love, and care. Next was a message coming from our Chief of the Curriculum Implementation Division, Sir Felix I. Anticristo. He discussed about the different modalities like the ADM or modular, TV-based, radio-based instruction, blended learning, and online learning. He also mentioned that videos can be utilized by the teachers during Slack sessions. Another key official gave her message in the person of Dr. Janet G. Veloso. She informed us that even before the central office created the LMS, Region 11 had already looked into it. She said that they wanted that the LMS would serve as the repository of all the MELPs, or the most essential learning competencies, the learning materials, and the lesson exemplars from quarter 1 to quarter 4, and that teachers will just focus on teaching. She said that the regional effort will not be successful if there will be also greater force from the teachers, considering that teachers are the crucial moving force in the delivery of the learning through learning modalities. So to achieve the goal, we must have the same take-off. But how? By having the same level or parallel training on learning management systems, mental wellness, and psychosocial activities. The last but not the least who gave his message was Sir Mark C. According to him, LMS is the platform that we need to use to bridge the online synchronous and online asynchronous classes. He mentioned that these materials that are still under quality assurance, and once these materials be approved, everything will be posted. He also mentioned that LMS are the only open to the public schools. However, the private schools can access to the department commons. And also, he stipulated that our LMS has the accessibility feature for the deaf and blind learners. That would be all. Thank you and good morning once again. And that was the recap by our PSDS of Balita North District, Ma'am Fe Arlene D. Lagance.
Learning Management System.
For us. And to know the recap for the afternoon, we have on the other screen our PSDS, one of the PSDSs from Malita West District. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Jesus Las Cunha.
This is the Division Training of Trainers on Learning Management System or LMS Utilization of the Department of Education and Schools Division of Davao Occidental.
we are also grateful because we are joined by one of the personnel from the DepED Central Office. She is the Assistant Secretary for Alternative Learning System. Ladies and gentlemen, ASEC GHS Amba.
Learning Management System. Learning Management System.
I mean, if you're gonna be posting your documentation for today's training, just don't forget also to put the hashtag LMS DavOc, hashtag SDO DavOc We Learn as One, and hashtag Sulong Edukalidad. Again, it's hashtag LMS DavOc, hashtag SDO DavOc We Learn as One, and hashtag Sulong Edukalidad. So I guess we already connected with ASEC Abat. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, ASEC GH Abat.
All right. Good morning, maayong buntag, magandang umaga sa ating Davao Region family. Sana po ay kayo ay nasa mabuting kalagayan, kasama po ng inyong pamilya, pati na po ng inyong mga kaibigan. The last 3 months since, we're entering our 5th month pala since the lockdown. And the pandemic has brought so many challenges to the Department of Education, no? Simula sa pag-lockdown, simula sa pag-ensure na matatapos ang school year nang hindi tayo masyadong namumroblema or na hindi na natin puproblemahin yung pagpasok ng mga bata hanggang sa final exams, hanggang sa graduation. Those things have challenged us. But being the Department of Education, being the ones leading the molding of the minds, the equipping of our youth, nagawan po natin ng paraan ang napakaraming problema at napakaraming challenges na dumating sa atin brought about by the pandemic. Si Secretary Ling po ay patuloy ang kanyang pasasalamat at she wants to convey to everybody in DepED that she is proud to each and every one of us for number one, ensuring that learning will continue kahit na po nagkakaroon po tayo ng mga lockdowns, kahit na po medyo mahirap ang ating mga kalagayan ngayon because of the pandemic. Number two, nagpapasalamat po siya sa mga patuloy at hindi nagsawa sa pag-contribute at pag-come up ng ating mga learning continuity plans. I do understand that Davao has its learning continuity plan, kasama na po dito ang mga divisions down to the schools. Meron po kayong mga learning continuity plans. Never pa po itong nangyari sa Department of Education as far as maybe Sec Liling is concerned, kasi we have never been hit by the pandemic before. At pangatlo, na gusto pong iparating din ni Sec Liling at patuloy niyang sinasabi na in the coming school year and in the next school year, marami po tayong kakaharapin na challenges, and as one DepEd family, we're hoping to prevail. We are hoping to be able to get past the challenges and deliver what we are supposed to deliver, which is to ensure that by the end of each school year, we will be producing youth. We will be producing and equipping the next generation of those who will be contributing to nation building, community building, and who will be our next generation leaders in the new normal. Whatever the new normal is, we don't know. So, una po sa lahat, umuna na yung greetings ko at ang mga pasabi ni Sec Liding, of course, no, yun pong pag-congratulate ko po sa Davao Region, sa DepED Davao Region, sa inyong proyekto na learning management system. Marami pong, sinasabi po natin na the pandemic has challenged us, has brought so many, has frustrated us even. But then again, napakarami pong opportunities na in-open up nito. Take for example, ito pong online learning. It's in one of the goals of the administration, pero parang na-accelerate po siya because of the pandemic. And now, you are being trained on how to use, on how to train also the other teachers and the other employees of the department, how to use it, lalo na sa mga, ang narinig ko kanina kina RD at ARD na pati mga parents ay ititrain on how to use the LMS, no? Ito pong LMS ay isa po sa mga pangarap din namin sa ALS kasi po gusto po namin na mas marami po kaming marating na mga estudyante. Take for example, napakarami po nating mga anak ng OFW na nasa ibang bansa na hindi nakakapag-aral either because mahal ang tuition fee, walang Philippine schools overseas, o di kaya ay baka hindi po sila, hindi tama ang mga papeles nila abroad. So having an online learning management system na ganito will be able to, will enable us to reach more learners who need to finish basic education, who needs to be equipped, who needs to be taught of the competencies, the 21st century competencies na kakailanganin po natin, especially with the challenges with the new normal brought about by what is happening to us right now. Yun pong, kung hindi niyo po na itatanong, ako po ay noong pong several years ago, may more than 10 years ago, isa po ako dun sa mga unang naging lecturer sa University of the Philippines, Open University. Doon po, gumamit po kami ng Moodle. Ang Moodle po ay isang learning management system kung saan pwede na po kami magturo, nandoon po mga learning resources, pwede po kami mag-quiz, pwede po kami mag-assess and all that. That was way back in 2006, ang Moodle na ginamit po ng UP Open University. At that time, we did not have, wala po ako naging training. Basta binigyan lang po ako ng manual, that's it. Wala po akong training katulad ng training na pinagdadaanan po ninyo ngayon. So, consider yourself blessed dahil kayo po ay tinitrain ngayon ng region at parang intense po yung inyong pinagdadaanan na training ngayon. And at least, no, I would also like to say na let's maximize kasi po mukhang ito na po ang new normal. You will be using, hindi na po tayo magiging limitado sa face-to-face. You will continue be using learning management system and online learning. So make the most of it, learn. But most of all, no, more than learning how to use the tools, more than learning how to use the digital tools, the equipment, or the ito po mga apps, it's also important na yung pinag-uusapan namin kanina backstage with RD, ARD, and SDS, na kumbaga emerge din po natin what we have learned, what we have experienced in our years of teaching, na it's not just limited to using tools, but also ensuring na through the tools, through the system, matututo po talaga, magkakaroon ng quality learning ang ating mga learners, So, what I'm arriving at is, wag po tayong maging limited sa paggamit ng, wag po tayong masyado maging obsessed sa mga tools, no? Since March, I've been seeing so many webinars teaching you how to use PowerPoints to make you more effective as you teach, but it's still the content that matters. It's still how you deliver it that matters. It's still at the end of it, when you assess the learners, if they have learned, that's what matters. So take that into mind when you undergo this training. Overall, I will not take long because we have, I know you have a whole day to do this, to go through this webinar, and we also have meetings. But overall, we are happy that to hear that Davao Region is piloting this, has started this, and it's applying this to all the schools. I was told na all the schools pwede silang mag-avail nitong LMS so that no learner will be left behind. Ang isa po naming binibilin din na sana po yung inclusion dimension ng LMS ay mapaigting din. When I say inclusion dimension, sana po with this system, mas marami po tayong kabataang babae ang ma-reach out natin at makapag-avail nito. Ina-expect po kasi natin na with the pandemic, marami po ang baka maraming mga nabuntis na mga kabataan at magda-drop out sila, and hopefully if they go online learning, hindi na po nila masyadong problema ang pupunta sa eskwelahan. You having LMS will provide venues or provide a way for more girls to be able to finish basic education. Isa rin po sana na gusto po namin na patuloy po natin i-consider ay yung mga, kumbaga yung mga those who have been marginalized before. I do understand na maraming magbo-modular learning, but we do hope na even for those IT communities, for those PWDs, or for those with special needs, ay makaka-avail din po nitong LMS ninyo. And of course, no, I trust Davao Region and the experts that they will be able to kumbaga deepen the inclusion dimension of this system. So, yun lang po. Once again, congratulations to DepED Davao Region for this innovation, and I wish you the best. And sa ating po mga teachers, kasama niyo po kami sa inyong patuloy na pagpapalawig at pagtuturo sa ating mga learners. Asahan niyo po na ang aming suporta sa inyo. Yun lang po. At maraming salamat and congratulations again.
Division Training of Trainers.
Ayan, maraming salamat po, Asik Ambat, sa inyong mga challenges for all of us teachers. At this point, let's greet first our teacher participants before we proceed to the next portion of our training. Let's greet our participants. Of course, we were enjoyed by Ma'am Jessa Ibanez Torres. Sabi niya, good morning everyone. Good morning po, Ma'am Jessa. Ayan po, sabi ni Ma'am Juliet Suliza, maayong buntag. Okay, so we also have January Luis Baiti Tador. Sabi niya, good morning, watching from Tador and Masaglang Elementary School, Don Marcelino District. And of course, sabi din ni Sir Johnny Lucas Kasula, good morning ma'am, and sir, watching from Dato Danuata Elementary School. Good morning po sa inyong lahat, and keep your comments coming. And also, please do not forget to post your posting. Sabi po ni Ma'am Angelica Torbeles, good morning everyone. Another day of learning, day 2 of 4. Watching here from Don Marcelino National High School, hashtag LMS Davao Oc, hashtag Sulong Edukalidad. And of course, hello din po kay Ma'am Anisita Hitalia. Good morning everyone from Santa Maria East District. Si Ma'am po ay watching via our YouTube account. So thank you very much. Now, we also have Ma'am Erling Jane Cabrillas via Facebook. Sabi niya, good day teachers, watching from Tikal Elementary School, Malita East District. So hello po sa lahat ng ating mga teachers from different districts all over the Schools Division of Davao Occidental. Ayan. Of course, after Asik Ambat, we are also grateful that we are enjoyed by another personnel from DepEd Central Office. She is the Assistant Secretary for Curriculum and Instruction. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Assistant Secretary Alma Ruby C. Turio.
Learning Management System.
I would like to personally express my appreciation to all your efforts in ensuring that education continues in Davao. Of course, during our previous MANCOM meetings, RD Evelyn is always ready to apprise the Secretary, the EXICOM, and the entire MANCOM on all the things that are happening in your region. Indeed, COVID-19 has raised many issues in the Department of Education. Since its onset last March 2020, there are many challenges that stirred up. One major question is, how are we going to ensure that educating the youth continues amidst the pandemic? The question brought out the creativity and innovation among regions, which resulted in the creation of learning continuity plan that is responsive and contextualized. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. Thus, modalities vary from the conditions on the locality. From module-based instruction, online distance learning, to educational TV and radio broadcast learning, or the combination, or we call it blended modalities. These are all considered and being explored. They say that disruption is the mother of opportunity. Indeed, in these times where we are all surrounded with amazing challenges, we cannot afford to be pessimistic. Every DepEd employee deserves a tap on the shoulder for keeping our stand to continue with education amidst this pandemic. And so, my dear colleagues, my dear members of our DepEd family, as we enter the new normal, expect that the conventional ways of teaching will be mixed with novel means, yet constant in its purpose to provide quality education to all our learners. And thorough planning and preparation are your armors to cope with the current challenges that you are facing. Your training and simulation will equip you with the necessary skills and technical know-how in the implementation of the various activities contained in your learning continuity plan. I am deeply inspired on how you are moving towards the realization of the department's vision and mission. With your concerted efforts, surely the learners of Davao region will receive the best education that they deserve. And as you work on the different plans, remember the verse from Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6, "Be strong and of courage. Do not fear nor be afraid of them. For the Lord your God, He is the one who goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you." Again, on behalf of your DepEd family, good luck and God bless your good endeavor. Keep the passion alive and let's transform your plans into accomplishments. Maraming salamat po at magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Learning Management System. Learning Management System. Learning Management System.
Maraming salamat po, Asek Torio. Ma'am Jinli?
Yes, Sir Ralph, and that was perfect for you. On the other hand, let's not forget to show to the world that we are in. We're making sure that the learning continues amidst this pandemic. By posting about this event in your respective social media, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Schools Divisions of Davao Occidental. And also, don't forget to hit the like button of the Facebook page. Still, it's Schools Division of Davao Occidental.
Tama, Ma'am Gay. And together with their social media posts, please use the hashtag LMS Davao, hashtag Sulong Edukalidad, and hashtag SDO Davao We Learn as one. Again, that's LMS Davao, hashtag SDO Davao We Learn as one, and hashtag Sulong Edukalidad. And we will try our best to broadcast your postings during the course of this training. And I guess we have postings from yesterday. Can we show it on screen? Ayan po, that this first post, kanino po ito, Ma'am Jinli?
Yes, and that the teacher participant of. Okay, that's from Teacher Madine Aradillo. Okay. If you can see Sir Ralph, the
Yes.
post of Ma'am Madine Aradillos, meron siyang
Ayan.
hashtag LMS Davao and hashtag Sulong Edukalidad.
That's correct. At meron din siyang mga screenshots from her. I guess she used her mobile phone yesterday when she participated in the training. Okay, next post, please. Okay, so again, when you post, do not forget to use our hashtag. Okay, our second post is from, let's see. Okay, that's from Ma'am Cecil Rillion Maravilla, sabi niya, day 1, para sa kabataan. And then, the emoji na ganyan. So, kayang-kaya lang natin. So, tingnan natin yung kanyang mga photos na pinost. Ayan, screenshots also of her mobile phone as she participated in the training. Next. Sino yung third, Ma'am Jinli?
Okay, Sir Ralph. This time is coming from Ma'am Maria Cristel Rain Sagot. Ayan, ang ganda ng posting ni Ma'am. And she mentioned also, learned a lot. So meaning yesterday was a very fruitful day to all of us. Meron din siyang hashtag LMS Davao, meron din siyang hashtag Sulong Edukalidad. But today, please do not forget to include also hashtag SDO Davao, we learn as one.
Yes.
Ayan, nadadagdagan na po ang ating hashtags yesterday.
Again, that's hashtag LMS Davao, hashtag Sulong Edukalidad, and hashtag SDO Davao, we learn as one. All right, thank you very much. So keep your posts coming and we will broadcast them later on during the course of our training. So Ma'am Jinli, what's next?
Yes, Sir Ralph. So we are time. Let's proceed to our training proper with an overview of the most essential learning competencies. Let's welcome our regional chief of the Curriculum and Learning Management Division. Let's welcome Dr. Janet G. Veloso.
Division Training of Trainers.
Division and all the good morning sa ating lahat, particularly to all our schools division superintendent, assistant superintendent, and also to our chief of the curriculum implementation division and all the education program supervisors and public school district supervisors, and also to our teachers, both from or starting from the elementary, our junior high school and senior high school. We are very happy to share with you as to our most essential learning competencies. So my presentation today is actually a bit comprehensive. Now, for all you know, DepED Region 11, during this global pandemic, is revolutionary as it remains forward thinking in carrying out its mandates under the framework of Sulong Edukalidad. It continues to navigate diversified interventions and strategies to sustain delivery of quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating basic education. Thus, I teach of the region as a comprehensive-led learning continuity plan is hopeful for that, and you will know what is it. Now, the presentation outline in today's journey about the most essential learning competencies, we are going to have a glimpse on the region's context,
leading to our support or our commitment for the K-12 most essential learning competencies. Second, as to our framework of the region, as to our learning continuity plan. And another is for us to look into deeper, and this will be walkthrough in a form of walkthrough by the respective learning area experts on K-12 most essential learning competencies. And the last is where we are heading, our way forward. Now, before the COVID-19 pandemic has come into picture, if we look at Davao region, each year we are baffled by many disasters, and these have a major impact on learners and education systems. Be it in a smaller or bigger scale, learners are generally out of school for some period of time due to disasters. That the impact on the education to learners, all of these existing challenges have certain damage to education infrastructure. Not only that, often leave many children in need of critical education support, and I'm talking about learners with special needs. They are left helpless in ensuring their long-term or longer-term development. And so, now that we are in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic, which poses challenges to all various sectors in DepEd, not only that, DepEd is one that has to really change its landscape of operation in order to become viable in this trying time. And so we are very thankful for DepEd Region 11 to make it responsive that in this global pandemic, we have our ITH, integrating technology, academic community, and the household, ensuring that every learner in DepEd Region 11 is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. And not only that, DepEd Region 11, as it integrates technology, academic community, and households, and guided by the DepEd's vision, mission, and core values, pushes its 12 goals under the Learning Continuity Plan. And this is ensuring learning continuity through the K-12 basic education curriculum. Adjustments, alignment, learning materials, deployment of multiple learning delivery modalities, provision of corresponding training to teachers and school leaders, and proper orientation of parents or to our community leaders. We embedded all this as mechanism in our learning continuity plan. And that, if we look at DepEd Region 11's learning continuity plan, we have one, determine the context of the learner and their families. Second, develop and establish a contextualized hybrid learning management system, and that is our learning management system where every school, every division, and every learner or every household will have. Enhanced preparation of learners in meeting the K-12 basic education program standards and competencies under the most essential learning competencies. And fourth, map out all materials necessary for the delivery of the lessons vis-a-vis the milks. And fifth, develop self-learning materials that are aligned with the milks. And sixth, facilitate conversion of self-learning materials or our self-learning modules into ebook, or interactive video lessons, radio scripts, and TV-based scripts or episodes ready for the different modalities. And next to that, we have to utilize our ICT in the management, communication, accreditation, and supervision of private schools and delivery of support and resources in all field offices. Provide necessary retooling and upskilling strategies to all personnel in all governance. And I'm talking to this that not only in the school level, but also in the division and in the region, that we are going to provide or capacitate our key personnel. Ninth, orient parents and learners on the different modalities and learning on significant, and especially on their significant role as parents or being facilitators of learning. Strengthen partnership of key players to ensure delivery of all learning modalities in schools and collaboration in all governance. 11th, protect the well-being of the learners, our teaching and non-teaching personnel, and education leaders by ensuring a safe and conducive learning and working spaces or environment. And finally, we need still to celebrate success and also reward our key players and partners for the effort under the framework or for the delivery of quality service or sulong edukalidad. And we capture all this in our framework of the ITH. And I'd like to each one to look into the effort of the region that is now we are doing the upskilling of teachers. And on the aspect or in the aspect of capacity building to teachers and school leaders, the region has to ensure that all teachers are not only strengthened to become resilient, adaptable, or able to manage resource and technology literacy or technological literacy, but most specifically on the main concern on the delivery of the K-12 basic education. And that it is therefore the primary goal of the region to orient you teachers and our education leaders on the most essential learning competencies and able to let you or appreciate the milks as we are now. If we look at our calendar, we are in a shortened period because barely each quarter we are going to have 8 weeks. So with that, we are ensuring that the most essential learning competencies are delivered to our respective clientele and our learners. And under that, imbibed with the philosophy and principles as well as the pillars of sulong edukalidad, it is hoped that teachers would be able to respond. And it is you, our trainers now, who is going to set that one into motion to the goals of the K-12 basic education program. And if we look at our K-12 most essential learning competencies, we have as our overarching, or shall we say, impression that the milks is not a new curriculum. it is not a departure from the K-12 curriculum, and that the standards in terms of the content and performance standards are retained, and that our MELCs are focused on the attainment of 21st century skills. The codes and tagged materials are retained for the merged and retained competencies, and that all learning areas will still be taught, and that the MELCs are aligned with the Sulong Edukalidad framework. Another thing that we should know, that if we look at the desirable learning competencies, and so with the essential learning competencies, the DLCs or the desirable learning competencies are those that what may enhance education but may not be necessary in building foundational skills. And that the essential one are those that our students need. And these are indispensable. And that in terms of, if we look at the teaching learning process, this equip learners for subsequent grade levels, or consequently for building the skills in subsequent grade levels or for lifelong learning. And so this is how, or these are the things that our DepEd Central Office and our field offices look at it. Now, for the characteristics of essential learning competencies, these are the things that we should know, that it is aligned with the national and state and local standards, and that it connects the content to higher concepts across content areas. It is applicable to real life situations, and that in general, these are important as it is very essential, not only for our learners, but also it has something to do with the real learning in the community or in the real world. It is underscored specifically that we are looking at it, that if we talk about the most essential learning competencies, these are enduring competencies. And that if we look at endurance, this gives us a view that a learning competency is considered enduring, because this is one aspect that really put premium, that if it is enduring, it remains with the learners long after a test or unit of study is completed, or if it is useful beyond a single test or unit study. That's how we look at it. So in the consideration of the most essential learning competencies, this is one great aspect that we look at. And that later, when the different learning areas will be sharing to you or with you all the unpacking, or shall we say, all the milks from kindergarten to the different learning areas, you will get to know better from the K to 12 curriculum guides that we have, and then the essential learning competencies, and then later to the most essential learning competencies. And you will appreciate on that, on how the process was being, or the process of identifying the milks. It's not just identifying it because we just consider it in that way, but it goes with the process. And so the different learning area supervisors will walk through with you on that. And so you will appreciate on the effort of our experts, and specifically the entire strand of the office of the curriculum or undersecretary for curriculum and instruction, particularly our Bureau of Curriculum and Development, that it has, or that everybody has really considered all or many things, from the review of the curriculum guide, and then move to the consideration of the essential learning competencies to the most essential learning competencies. Next, from the learning competencies before, from I believe a total of more than 10,000 learning competencies, and it is now reduced to more than 4,000 competencies. So the process is not just easy. And so these are the things that we have considered. And then, next to that, we have the mapping of the essential and desirable competencies that were mentioned a while back, and then the identifying of the prerequisite knowledge and skills within the learning area or the different learning area, and then it passes also analysis of interconnectedness of prerequisite knowledge and skills among learning competencies across learning areas. And then, yes, I have dwelled on this as to the essential learning competencies to milks. And so it's fitting that we need to know more about this through the walkthrough that you will be having, and that the consideration that the most determining factor na talagang tandaan natin is that we have the endurance, no, as the determining factor. That once that certain competency remains with the learner long after a test of a unit or unit of study is completed, and if this competency is useful beyond a single test or unit of study, then that is considered or the most essential learning competency. And that another thing that we need to be aware of, that while it's true that they go with the process of mapping the competency, identifying the prerequisite or analysis, but more so that they considered that there are those that they have retained, there are competencies that have been merged, and there are those that have been rephrased, and there are those that have been dropped. So that's how the process is what we consider tedious and daunting tasks. And so finally, for our region, we map out the available learning competencies. Because of that, because this is how we populate we populate the given most essential learning competencies with all the identified or the existing available resource that we have, because we want the teacher now to really know what are the things or what are these learning resource available in your respective divisions, available in your respective schools that are already quality assured, and even those that are for quality assurance process but are closely and can be used in the delivery of the most essential learning competencies. We are doing such because these are data and these are vital information for you teachers to be able to make sure that you have ample available learning resource once you are going and once we open the school year 2020-2021. And finally, as our way forward, we hope that each one will continue, especially our writers and developers of the self-learning modules, for the quality assurance of the learning modules, and the establishment of monitoring and evaluation of the online training model. And this is the one that we are talking about, our training, because we do not want that all of us will just be listening to the training or webinars, but more so that we are going to make sure that all the things that we are heading for are really delivered well, and not only that, we are equipped for the school year 2020-2021. And we would like each of you now to catch sight of our collaboration, the collaboration of all offices in all governance, starting from schools, your schools division offices, and the region, and so with the central office, because we believe now that we journey together, not only learning together of the kind of environment that we have now, and we come together as we open for the school year 2021 for the delivery of quality basic education and ensuring that each learner is safe and protected while they continue their education in this new normal. God bless everyone.
This is the Division Training of Trainers on Learning Management System or LMS Utilization of the Department of Education and Schools Division of Davao Occidental.
Salamat po, Ma'am Janet Veloso, for giving us an overview of the most essential learning competencies. Before we begin the MELC's walkthrough, we would like to remind you that you can post your questions regarding the training on the comments section of either YouTube channel or on Facebook page. So you can post the following: your question, your name, full name of your school, and your district. Once again, on the comment section, you post your question, your full name of your school, and your district. So now, let's start the unpacking of competencies based on MELC's per learning area. This morning session, we will cover kindergarten, mother tongue-based multilingual education, and Filipino. Let's start the walkthrough of the MELCs in kindergarten to be facilitated by Regional Education Program Supervisor and Focal Person for Kindergarten, Miss Annalisa C. Almasan. And she
Division
by our Division Education Program Supervisor and focal person in kindergarten, Miss Jonathan Araneta.
Division Training of Trainors.
To our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Lorenzo E. Mendoza, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Jinky B. Furman, CID Chief, Felix I. Anticristo, SGOD Chief, Nilo Octora Sr., Education Program Supervisors of different learning areas, District Supervisors of the 10 districts, school heads of both elementary and secondary schools, teachers, good morning everyone. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Maayong buntag sa atong tanan. Today marks the second day of our 4-day division training of trainers. You will be oriented on how to use the MELCs for our kindergarten. This will be delivered to us by an expert na siyang magbigay liwanag tungkol sa paggamit ng MELCs sa pagtuturo ng ating mga kindergarten learners. Maliwanagan din tayo kung bakit binuo ang MELCs, kung ano ang mga layunin nito. Dapat nating maintindihan na ang MELCs ay binuo upang matulungan ang mga guro na matukoy ang mga mahalagang kasanayang pampagkatuto upang sa gayon ay mabigyan ito ng prioridad at maging batayan sa kanilang mga desisyong instruksyonal at hindi upang palitan ang kasalukuyang curriculum guide. Lahat ng mga katanungan na gumugulo sa inyong isipan tungkol sa MELCs ay masasagot na at mabigyang linaw dahil ang ating tagapagsalita ngayong umaga ay binigyang linaw at isinaayos ang pagpapaliwanag ukol sa MELCs for kindergarten. Siya ay isang Regional Education Program Supervisor assigned as Regional Focal Person in Kindergarten, a woman whom I believe could give you the most comprehensive explanation with regard to MELCs Kindergarten. Help me welcome our Regional Education Program Supervisor, Focal Person in Kindergarten, Dr. Annalisa Almazan.
Teachers. Today, we are going to have the walkthrough of the most essential learning competencies for kindergarten. So, in the light of the COVID-19 and the consequent shortened academic year, the Department of Education, through the Bureau of Curriculum Development, Curriculum Standards Development Division, has produced a list of the most essential learning competencies, or what we call the MELCs. This was done in order to ensure that the grade level standards, along with the corresponding content and performance standards set for each learning area, are still attained. In the process of identifying the MELCs, the endurance criterion was used as the sole determiner, guided by the requirement that a learning competency be useful in lifelong learning. Further, the MELCs identified are those that work in close association with other competencies in other subjects, thus maintaining the curricular quality of integration. So this is the picture of the most essential learning competencies matrix. Of course, this is for K-12 curriculum. So in here, we will be talking about the kindergarten most essential learning competencies. And as we see here, let's try to answer what is MELC. So this is all about the most essential learning competency. So what is this? So this serves as a reference to assist the teachers in identifying the most important learning competencies to be developed, acquired by the learners, and must be prioritized in this situation. MELCs with asterisk are rephrased and deemed essential in learning competencies in the achievement of content and performance standards. So MELC is for school year 2020-2021 only. So meaning to say, this is only intended for this school year, of which we will start on August and hopefully we will end on April 2021. So this is our example of the most essential learning competencies of kindergarten. So as you see here, so we have the quarter one or the week one. So we have here the content standards. Okay, for example, ang bata ay nagkakaroon ng pag-unawa sa sariling ugali at damdamin. So of course, the MELC still has the performance standards. So we have here, ang bata ay nakapagpapamalas ng kakayahang kontrolin ang sariling damdamin at pag-uugali, gumawa ng desisyon at magtagumpay sa kanyang mga gawain. Okay, from these standards, we have the most essential learning competencies. So there are 5. So meaning to say, this is somewhat a subclass, sub-competencies. So we have here, there are 5. So nakikilala ang sarili, pangalan at apelyido, kasarian, gulang or kapanganakan, then gusto or di gusto, then use the proper expression in introducing oneself. So yung sub-competencies of this MELC, this is the most essential learning competencies, and like what we said, there is what we call embedded competencies. So along with this main MELC, we have this sub-competencies. They use the proper expression in introducing oneself. So we have a sample here. So I know that kindergarten teachers, they know a lot of this. So as we see, this is now what we're going to teach first. Okay, this one, the proper expression in introducing oneself. Then talk about one's personal experiences, narrate events of the day, then naipakikita ang tiwala sa sarili na tugunan ang sariling pangangailangan ng mag-isa. Kaya halimbawa dyan, maghugas ng kamay, kumain, magbihis, magligpit, tapusin ang gawaing nasimulan. Okay. So this is our example of the MELC. So again, we have this what we call the MELC, meaning the main MELC, and we have what we call the sub-competencies. As a general rule, learning competencies are retained if it satisfies the endurance criterion, which greatly contributes to lifelong learning and is a prerequisite skill to the next grade level. Some of the competencies are merged or clustered if they have the same objective or learning intention, thus can be combined into one comprehensive learning competency. Okay, we have also the case that learning competencies are dropped if they are too specific and the articulation is similar to that of a learning objective, then deemed appropriate to be introduced in an early quarter or grade level or moved to a later quarter or grade level. Then sometimes they are recurring and subsumed in another learning area. And we have here a learning competencies. And of course, rephrased, this is to be more concise. Okay, this is our process of identifying the MELCs. So we have here the K-12 curriculum guide. From there, we come up with the essential learning competencies and then the most essential learning competencies. So from the different learning competencies, there we go. We have now the list of the most essential learning competencies. So the K-12 most essential learning competencies are not a departure from the K-12 curriculum. Of course, the MELCs are still part of the K-12 curriculum. Then, of course, there is standards, the content and performance standards. Then focus on the attainment of the 21st century skills. The codes and tagged materials are retained for merged and retained competencies. And all learning areas will still be taught. So if we're going to look into the current curriculum guide versus the MELCs, for kindergarten, we have current curriculum guide, we have 241, and right for the total MELCs that we have for four quarters, we have 66 MELCs. So as you see, there is 1% MELCs as compared to the total number of MELCs. Kasi yung total number that we have is 5,548. So kindergarten MELCs are 66 in number. So this is 1% of the total number of MELCs. So for the kindergarten teachers, you are going to deal 66 MELCs for one school year. Field implementers are encouraged to contextualize the most essential learning competencies in order to accommodate the varying contexts of learners, teachers, learning environment, and support structures, considering both the content and performance standards. So how to use the MELC? So we as kindergarten teachers, we should know how to use the MELC. So the Department of Education, through the Bureau of Curriculum Development, Curriculum Standards Development Division, has developed the most essential learning competencies to address the challenges brought about by the global pandemic. Its negative impact in the educational system, which include but not limited to the shortened school year, limited face-to-face interaction of teachers, of course, with our learners. So meaning to say, for this school year, we have really limited interaction face-to-face with our learners, and other instructional delivery related concerns pose serious problem, more specifically to early childhood learners. Okay, this is now the call for the kindergarten teachers, because it is really give us a problem because we're dealing early graders, young ones, meaning to say this is their first year supposedly in school, entering kindergarten. So thus, the MELCs ensure that all 5-year-old, so these are now our kindergarten learners, 5-year-old Filipino learners achieve the content and performance standards expected of them in various learning domains. So always remember our domains, developmental domains in kindergarten. So in the process of identifying the MELCs, the endurance criterion was used as the sole determiner. Endurance is defined as the learning competency that remains with learners long after a test is completed, or is useful beyond a single test or unit of study. So finally, the MELCs identified under the 7 developmental domains. Okay, still remember our 7 developmental domains? Of course you do, kindergarten teachers, along with our education program supervisors in kindergarten. So these are the 7 developmental domains are those that work in close association with the circular themes from the kindergarten curriculum guide, which will be used for each lesson and activity for the week. So how to use the MELCs? The MELCs identified in kindergarten may be taught repeatedly. Okay, take note. Okay, the MELCs identified in kindergarten may be taught repeatedly to help the learner acquire the necessary knowledge, skills, and values. So take note of this. The MELCs identified in kindergarten may be taught repeatedly. So this is to achieve mastery of the skills. Remember, we are developing the 7 domains. So the skills. So this will somehow help our learners acquire the necessary knowledge, skills, and values. It is also recommended that the teacher unpack the MELCs into more specific learning competencies or objectives using the kindergarten curriculum guide. So we're still going to have our kindergarten curriculum guide, our KCG. Then the teacher may add more sub-competencies depending on the need of the learners. So again, take note of this. It is also recommended that the teacher unpacks the MELCs into more specific learning competencies or objectives using the KCG. Then the teacher may add, okay, always, because this can be our context. So the teacher may add more sub-competencies depending on the need of the learners. So meaning to say, in this part, we, the teachers of the kindergarten, are encouraged to contextualize or to contextualize the competencies based on the need of our learners. So if for one competency perhaps our learners cannot master yet a particular skill, then we can add more sub-competencies. Okay? So the MELCs identified in kindergarten, okay, yun, that is, we are going to, this is what we call taught repeatedly, right? So this is our now example. This is what I give a while back. So this is our example, MELCs for kindergarten. So quarter 1, week 1. So again, as you see, we have the content standards, we have the performance standards, and this column is for most essential learning competencies, and we have the sub-competencies. This is what has been emphasized a while back, that in this portion, we, the teachers, can add or may add sub-competencies or additional competencies depending on the need of the learners. So again, if the learners cannot master yet the skills, so that the teachers can add some competencies along with that most essential learning competencies. So we are going to look into our kindergarten curriculum guide. So you have the copy of the MELCs, and of course, always bring with you also the copy of your kindergarten curriculum guide, so that you will be guided with the sub-competencies to go along with that MELCs. Okay? So this is a sample for the quarter 2, week 2. Okay, still, we have the content standards, we have the performance standards, we have the most essential learning competencies, and we have the sub-competencies. So if we're going to look into what is that? The things listed, the MELCs listed in the full package of the most essential learning competencies, we will find the MELCs for kindergarten on these pages. So this is the first page in there, the kindergarten. So you have here, this is now really the picture of the contents of the MELCs. So we have quarter 1 or the first quarter, and as you see, we have what we call the duration. So at most, we are guided when to have this particular MELC be taught to our learners because of this duration. So as you see, the duration is not given to us as day 1, day 2, day 3, 4, and 5, but it's given to us as a week. Okay, as a week. But as we teach this particular MELC, always remember that we can add some sub-competencies. So if this is the most essential learning competencies, then if we feel that our learners could not master right away the skill emphasized or the domain emphasized in this MELC, then we can add sub-competencies. So we have here, for example, we have this one, nakikilala ang sarili. This is what we have presented in our sample a while back. So this is the second MELC for week 2. So for week 2, we will focus the themes on nasasabi ang mga sariling pangangailangan ng walang pag-aalinlangan at nakasusunod sa mga itinakdang tuntunin at gawain, that those are the routines sa paaralan at silid-aralan. Okay? So ito yung tinitingnan natin. So we have here it is all about disiplina. Yung konsepto na ibigay natin dito. This is the disciplina. And for week 3 ng quarter 1, we will be talking about, we will let our learners demonstrate an understanding of letters. Ayan. So this is now week 3, sort and classify objects according to one attribute, property, that is about the shape, the color, size, function, and use. Okay, so this is now, so we have 3 weeks with 3 most essential learning competencies. So we have here also the week 4 of quarter 1. Yan, as you see that. And then we are now introducing in week 4, we are now introducing the letter, number, or word that is different in group. So we have nais sa kikilos ang sariling kakayahan sa iba't ibang paraan, halimbawa sa pag-awit, pagsayaw, at iba pa. So that's for week 4. For week 5, we will focus on nakikilala ang mga pangunahing emosyon. So tuwa, takot, galit, at lungkot. Then tell which 2 letters, numbers, or words in a group are the same. So that's for week 5. Then of course for week 6, recognize symmetry. Yan. We have week 7. This is about the function of each basic body part. Demonstrate movements using different body parts. Then week 8, name the 5 senses and their corresponding body parts. We have the week 9, identify one's basic needs and ways to care for one's body. Then week 10, practice ways to care for one's body. So as you see, for quarter 1, we have 10 weeks for quarter 1 to deal with the most essential learning competencies. Then for quarter 2, so we have here quarter 2, we have, okay, this is the week 1, natutukoy na may pamilya ang bawat isa. For week 2, natutukoy kung sino-sino ang bumubuo ng pamilya. Week 3, na ilalarawan kung paano nagkakaiba at nagkakatulad ang bawat pamilya. Then week 4, this is all about pagmamahal sa mga kasapit ng pamilya. As you see, for quarter 2, we are going to talk about more about family. Okay? So dito natin to bata yung about sa pamilya, yung concept nila about family. Dito yan sa quarter 2. Then, for week 5, name the places and the things found in the classroom, school, and community. Because our content standards here, the child demonstrates an understanding of acquiring new words, widening his or her vocabulary, links to her or his experiences. So in this part na, sa week 5, the child demonstrates an understanding of objects in the environment, then have properties or attributes. So this time, our learners will talk about the colors, the size, shapes, and functions, and that objects can be manipulated based on these properties and attributes. So go to week 6, give the names of family members, school personnel, and community helpers, and the roles they play or jobs they do or things that they used to do. Okay, so those are the samples, or those are the MELCs identified for quarters 1 and quarters 2. Then additional for quarters 2, we have the week 7. So we have week 7, we have here, we will talk about the polite greetings and courteous expressions in appropriate situations. Then week 8, talk about likes, dislikes, the foods, those are the foods, the pets, toys, games, friends, and places. Then talk about family members, pets, toys, foods, or members of the community using various appropriate descriptive words. Okay, so repeatedly done. Di ba? As you notice, as we choose about the milks, so they are repeatedly presented in every quarter. Then week 9, tell and describe the different kinds of weather, that is sunny, rainy, cloudy, stormy, windy. Then observe and record the weather daily as part of the opening routine. Okay. Then week 10, identify what we wear and use for each kind of weather. Yan. So this comprises quarter 2. So still we have 10 weeks in quarter 2. Okay. For part of the second quarter, okay, part of the second quarter is the tracing activity on tracing, copying and writing the letters of the alphabet. Then straight lines, then combination of straight and slanting lines, then combination of straight and curved lines. Then we have rounded strokes with loops. Then write once give a name. So we introduce now the letters according to how are they written, how they look, yung mga letters of the alphabet. Then for week 3, so dito sa week 3, the child demonstrates an understanding of concepts of size, length, weight, time, and money. So tell the names of the days in a week, month, and a year. So that's for week 1. Week 1 in quarter 3 or third quarter. So as you see, with you, we will give you copies of the milks, but I guess that you already have copies of your milk. So I hope that you will be walking through with that milks. You open that one because that would be the milks now would be our Bible, but along with that milk, of course, always also bring with you your curriculum guide. Okay, so with that, we have this. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. So this is what Benjamin Franklin tells us. Okay, and then another thing that we need to remember, children don't care what a teacher knows unless they know the teacher cares. We need to care our learners this time more. We need to give more care on them because it's a different setup, different delivery of the modality, different delivery of the learning for this pandemic. So we need to care more about our learners. Then if a child can't learn the way we teach, maybe we should teach the way we learn. Okay? And with that, thank you very much. Then, this is Annalisa Casas Almazan, your kindergarten focal person in the regional office. Good day, everyone.
Learning Management System. Learning Management System.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Annalisa Almazan, the focal for our kindergarten. Now, I know you have questions, so if you have questions regarding the MELCS walkthrough, please post them on our comment section. Both or either if you're using Facebook page, then you can post it as a comment, or if you're using YouTube channel or if you're watching through YouTube, you can post your questions via the comment section. Just don't forget to post your question, and then after that, your full name, and then the name of your school, and then your district. And we will let our facilitators answer them later during our open forum. So thank you very much. So before we will move on to our next part of the training, we need to make galaw-galaw muna ulit. All right? So It's exercise time ulit, and I know kung gusto nyo pong umihi muna or if you want to do something else prior to continuing our training, then you can do so. So we will just give you first the galaw-galaw moment.
Quer saber, eu quero dançar pra mexer e nunca parar. Quer saber, eu quero dançar. Buiaca, buiaca, the girl look older. Quer saber, eu quero dançar pra mexer e nunca parar. Quer saber, eu quero dançar. Buiaca, 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 buiaca. Morenita, make it passa. Tu veux du fire, vas-y, viens suivre. Moi de root boy criminal. Insecurity burn au maximum. Sur les sons du reggaeton. On voit que tu kiffes, que tu te donnes. Continue comme ça, on voit que t'aimes ça. Fire, fire, fire. Quer saber, eu quero dançar pra mexer e nunca parar. Quer saber, eu quero dançar. Buiaca, buiaca, the girl look older. Quer saber, eu quero dançar pra mexer e nunca parar. Quer saber, eu quero dançar. Buiaca, 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 buiaca. Whiny, baby. Sur les beaux dancers, tu connais la danse. En perfect timing, écoute la cadence. Tu la baby danse, danse, danse. Whiny, baby. Sur les beaux dancers, tu connais la danse. En perfect timing, écoute la cadence. Tu la baby danse, danse, danse. Okay, boy, are you ready, ready? Okay, girl, are you ready, ready? Stand up now, are you ready, ready? Booyaka, 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 booyaka. So tell me, damn, it's the fire, fire burning. Number one for them, those guys for killing. Sur les sons du reggaeton. On voit que tu kiffes, que tu te donnes. Continue comme ça, on voit que t'aimes ça. Fire, fire, fire. Quer saber, eu quero dançar pra mexer e nunca parar. Quer saber, eu quero dançar. Buiaca, buiaca, the girl look older. Quer saber, eu quero dançar pra mexer e nunca parar. Quer saber, eu quero dançar. Buiaca, 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 buiaca. Whiny, baby. Sur les beaux dancers, tu connais la danse. En perfect timing, écoute la cadence. Tu la baby danse, danse, danse. Whiny, baby. Sur les beaux dancers, tu connais la danse. En perfect timing, écoute la cadence. Tu la baby danse, danse, danse. All the musicians in the place. Move on the floor. All my selectors. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? Check up the bum bum. Are you ready for that? Check up the bum bum. Are you ready for that? Check up the bum bum. Check up the bum bum. Check up the bum bum. Quer saber, eu quero dançar pra mexer e nunca parar. Quer saber, eu quero dançar. Buiaca, buiaca, the girl look older. Quer saber, eu quero dançar pra mexer e nunca parar. Quer saber, eu quero dançar. Buiaca, 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 buiaca. Are you ready for that? Check up the bum bum.
Learning Management System.
Ayan po, alam kong energized na po ang lahat ng ating teacher participants. So on air, we have our division focal person in MTB, MLE, Mr. Elvin L. Carabalye, live from the school's division office. Hello po, Sir Elvin!
Hello, Ma'am Gay. Good
How are you
morning.
po?
I'm fine.
Okay po, are you ready to introduce our next speaker?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay po, so take it away po.
Once again, Ma'am Gay and Sir Ralph, and also with the technical working groups headed by Sir Vincent. Once again, a pleasant morning to all the handsome and beautiful teachers of the Division of Davao Occidental. Kumusta po kayong lahat? I hope that all of us are safe and feeling well despite of the challenges that we are facing every day, especially with this pandemic that we are experiencing. God is really good all the time. For the past couple of months, He has protected us and has provided us with lots of opportunities to go on with our lives, just like with this webinar that we are attending right now. We only need to strengthen our faith and trust in Him. And let us not forget to thank Him always for His guidance and protection to all of us, especially to our respective families. To our school's division superintendent, Dr. Lorenzo A. Mendoza, CISO 6. Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Jinky B. Ferman, CC. The two handsome chiefs in our division. First, the CID Chief, Mr. Felix I. Anticristo. SGOD Chief, Mr. Nilo L. Octora. Education Program Supervisors. Public Schools District Supervisors. Elementary and secondary school heads. The technical working groups. Teachers, once again, good day to all of us. At this point in time, our regional focal person in MTB MLE will talk about the most essential learning competencies, or the MILCs, in MTB came about. He will be discussing about the processes being undertaken to come up with these MILCs in order to address the challenges that we are facing for the delivery of instruction to our learners, especially in this new normal situation. In his session, he will be discussing also how the 135 most essential learning competencies were selected out of the original 1,738 competencies in the curriculum guide. Part of the discussion also is how to use the MTB MLE MILCs. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give our undivided attention to Dr. George N. Wong, Education Program Supervisor in CLMD, our regional focal person in MTB, MLE, and multi-grade education. Sir?
Good day, everyone. Yours truly is the focal person of MTB, MLE for today's regional training of trainers. In this time of threat, challenges, and uncertainties brought by about COVID-19, the directive of our dear DepED Secretary, Lenore Martulis Briones, is to ensure the health, safety, and welfare of the learners, teachers, and personnel of the department, while also finding ways for learning to continue. And it is strongly supported by our beloved Regional Director, Dr. Evelyn R. Pitalbero, and our CLM Chief, Dr. Janet G. Baloso. That is why we have the MILCs, or most essential learning competencies, in all subject area. Process identifying the MILCs. So we have the framework here. We got it from the K-12 curriculum guide and identify the essential learning competencies, and have to again select the most essential learning competencies. So with this pandemic crisis, we have to shorten our academic calendar for the year 2020-21 with the different delivery modes or model of instruction. MELs in mother tongue. What are the MELs in the mother tongue? The endurance criterion was used in the process of identifying the MELs. Which learning competencies were considered enduring? If the learning competencies or LC is useful in lifelong learning. But be reminded, the field, you are encouraged to contextualize the most essential learning competencies in order to accommodate the varying context of learners, teachers, learning environment, and support structures, considering both the content and performance standard. With this, Filipino learners are guaranteed with relevant and quality basic education despite the current health crisis. Which learning competencies were considered endurance? Those that work in close association with other competencies in other subjects. Example, interprets a pictograph based on given legend. As we go on with our seminar or training, we have to consider the number of learning competencies in mother tongue. So we have here for grade 1, mother tongue curriculum guide, we have 768, and most essential learning competencies 71. For grade 2, we have 602, MELCs 38. For grade 3, we have 368 and 26 MELCs. Total of 1,738 for curriculum guide and 135 MELCs. MELCs are considerably less than the original number of learning competencies in the curriculum because of two factors. A, we have recurrence is limited. For example, grade 1. For grade 1, the learning competencies for grade 1, we have participate actively during story reading by making comments and asking questions. Grade 2, if you observe, there's a recurrence here. Participate actively during story reading by making comments and asking questions in using complete sentences. MELCs are possibly, okay, be to merge and clustered. The learning competencies are merged and clustered. How did we come with MELCs in mother tongue? So we have the process, we retain, replace, merge, or clustered, and drop or discard. We have also to consider the grade level standards. For grade 1, the learner demonstrates basic communication skills in talking about the familiar topics using simple words and both verbal and non-verbal cues to understand. Spoken language shows understanding of basic vocabulary and language structures, reading processes, writing system, and appreciates aspects of one's culture. For grade 2, the learner demonstrates communication skills in talking about variety of topics using developing vocabulary and simple phrases and sentences, simple to complex spoken language using both verbal and non-verbal cues, understands vocabulary and language structure, appreciates and understands the cultural aspect of the language and writing system use, and reads and writes system and short literary and informational texts. For grade 3, the learners demonstrates communication skills in talking about variety of topics using expanding vocabulary and phrases, shows understanding of spoken language in different contexts, using both verbal and non-verbal cues, vocabulary and language structures, cultural aspects of the language, reads and writes literary and informational texts. Grade level standards are maintained through the chosen MELCs, as we have discussed a while ago. To use MELCs in mother tongue is another example. Subtask the MELCs. Grade level or quarter. So grade 2, just the first quarter, the MELCs is give the summary of the story. We have to subdivide it in sub-competencies or subtopics. Give the main idea of the story poem or poem. And another sub-competencies, we have give the correct sequence of 3 to 5 events in the story. And the last one, we have note important details in grade level narrative text, a character, B, setting, C, plot, problem of resolution. 3 is reteach the MELCs as needed. So, the sense that the learners did not fully reach your objective, then teacher must reteach the said MELCs. 4, we have to plan. Decide on the duration of MELCs depending on the needs of the learner. So it's high time for the teachers, the principals, and of course, supervisors to revisit the classroom for this purpose. So with that, I give you the word of Nelson Mandela. It always seems impossible until it's done. Thank you. Maraming salamat po. Stay safe and God bless.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. George Wong, sa iyong MELCs walkthrough for mother tongue-based multilingual education. Ngayon naman po ay tumungo tayo sa MELCs walkthrough sa Filipino. Makakasama po natin ang Regional Education Program Supervisor sa Filipino, walang iba kundi si Dr. Mary Jane M. Mejorada, at siya po ay ipapakilala ng ating Division Education Program Supervisor sa Filipino, walang iba kundi si Dr. Nelia Q. Madelo.
Learning Management System.
Isang mapagpalang araw sa ating lahat, lalong-lalo na po sa ating opisyalis ng Departamento ng Edukasyon, Dr. Lorenzo M. Mendoza, pansangay na tagapamanihala sa sangay ng Davao Occidental, Dr. Jinky B. Ferman, katuwang na pansangay na tagapamanihala, Mr. Felix I. Anticristo, HIPI ng Curriculum Implementation Division, Mr. Nelo L. Octora, HIPI ng SGOD, mga kasamahan ko na pansangay na tagamasid sa iba't ibang asignatura, mga pampurok na tagamasid or PSDS, mga punong guro sa elementarya at sekundarya, mga magagaling na mga guro sa Davao Occidental, sa lahat ng mga nanonood at nakikinig ngayon sa webinar na ito, isang mainit na pagbati sa ating lahat. Ikinararangal ko pong ipakilala sa inyo ngayon ang isang mahalagang tao na naglilingkod ng Departamento ng Edukasyon bilang panrehiyon na tagamasid sa Filipino, na siyang magbibigay sa atin ngayon ng oryentasyon sa paggamit ng mahalagang kasanayang pagpakatuto o MET sa Ingles ay tinatawag na Most Essential Learning Competencies. Dahil ito ay nagsisilbing gabay ng ating mga kaguruan sa pagtuturo ng ating mga mag-aaral sa iba't ibang modalities na ating gamitin sa kasalukuyang new normal classroom. Kaya huwag na nating patatagalin pa. Salubungin natin siya ng isang mainit na pagtanggap ang ating panrehiyonal na tagamasid sa Pilipino, walang iba kundi si Dr. Mary Jane Mendoza Mejorada.
Division Training of Trainers. Division Training of Trainers.
Isang mapagpalang araw sa lahat. Aking pagpupugay sa ating panrehiyong direktor, Dr. Evelyn Fetalvero, CESO 4, ang ating Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Maria Ines Asuncion, CESO 5, sa Hepe ng Curriculum and Learning Management Division, Dr. Janet G. Veloso, sa mga tagapamanihalang pansangay, ang mga Hepe ng Curriculum and Implementation Division, mga tagamasid pansangay ng 11 dibisyon, kasama ang buong kaguruan ng Filipino, sa lahat ng nanunood at nakikinig, ang aking pagsaludo sa inyong presensya ngayon. Dumako naman tayo sa asignaturang Filipino. Ang oryentasyon sa paggamit ng pinakamahalagang kasanayang pampagkatuto o MELCS. Unahin natin ang kaligiran ng pagkakabuo ng ELCS2 MELCS. Bago pa man ang pandemya, ang Bureau of Curriculum and Learning, ang Bureau of Curriculum Division ay nagkaroon ng inisyatibo sa pagtukoy ng mga mahalagang kasanayang pampagkatuto sa pagtutulungan ng ating Bureau Specialist, academic experts at field implementors na pagkasunduan ang panuntunan na gagamiting mekanismo upang mapagtibay ang pagtukoy ng mga kasanayang pampagkatuto. Sa pagtuturo ng Filipino, ang gabay natin ay ang konseptual na balangkas sa K-12. Tunguhin, nilalaman ng konseptual na balangkas ng Filipino curriculum na makalinang ng isang buo at ganap na Pilipinong may kapaki-pakinabang na literasi. Lilinangin ang kakayahang komunikatibo gamit ang 5 makrong kasanayan, reflektibo at may papanuring pag-iisip, pagpapahalagang pampanitikan, pambansang pagkakakilanlan, kultural na literasi, patuloy na pagkatuto upang makaagapay sa mabilis na pagbabagong nagaganap sa daigdig, gamit ang mga lunsarang babasahin at teknolohiya. Magtatagumpay ito sa suporta ng kurikulum, ng guro, ng kagamitang pagtuturo, ng lipunan, pribado at pampubliko, media, tahanan, pamahalaang lokal at administratibo. Sa Filipino, ang kabuuang kasanayang pampagkatuto ay umabot ng 2,378. Bilang ng kasanayang pampagkatuto mula K-12 Curriculum Learning Competency mula 2,378 sa Essential Learning Competency ay nabawasan, naging 1,790 at sa Most Essential Learning Competencies ay naging 708 na po. Kaya ito ay umabot ng 29.77% ang pagbaba ng ating kasanayang pampagkatuto. Sa K-12 versus MELCS, pansinin natin ang talahanayang ito. Sa grade 1, ang 195 naging 48, grade 2, 284 to 37, grade 3, 272 to 55, grade 4, 343 to 102, grade 5, 312 to 57, grade 6, 274 to 51, grade 7, 169 to 47, grade 8, 152 to 73, grade 9, 179 to 103, at grade 10, 198, bumaba ng 135. Kaya from 2,378, naging 708. At ito po ang, sa katabi po dito na talahanayan, ang curriculum guide breakdown per quarter. Ito sa K-12, ito naman ang bago ngayon sa MELCS. Alamin natin ang proseso sa pagpili at pagbuo ng MELCS. Ito ay nabuo sa Endurance ni Ribs 2002 at ni Manny and Horrell noong 2014. Ito po ang pinagbatayan, ang pananaliksik, pagbasa, pagsulat, pagbasa ng mapa at hypothesis testing. Ang isang kasanayang pampagkatuto, ang learning competency o kasanayang pampagkatuto ay nagiging enduring o magtatagal ika nga if it remains with any learners long after a test or unit of study is completed or if it is useful beyond a single test or unit of study. Magtatagal siya kapag nagagamit sa totoong buhay sa letter A. At letter B naman, kung lubhang kailangan upang matutunan ang iba pang asignatura. Halimbawa nito na ibabahagi ang isang pangyayaring nasaksihan o naobserbahan. So nagagamit sa totoong buhay. Letter B, nakasusulat ng isang balangkas mula sa mga nakalap na impormasyon mula sa binasa. Lubhang kailangan. So isinalang-alang din ang pagsasakatuparan ng mga pabantayan sa bawat baitang. Ang mga kasanayang pampagkatuto ay dumaan sa 4 na proseso. May mga kasanayang pampagkatuto na pinanatili, may pinagsama, may tinanggal, at may inayos. Pinanatili kung umayon sa kriteriya at may malaking gampanin na makamit ang inaasahang malinang sa pagtamo ng kasanayan sa susunod na baitang. Pinagsama naman ang kasanayang pampagkatuto kung may pagkakatulad na layunin na pinagsama sa iisang komprehensibong kasanayang pampagkatuto. Tinanggal naman kung may tiyak na pag-uulit at pagkakatulad sa mga layunin na pinagsama na itinuturing na di paganap na ituro at linangin at mahirap na maisagawa ng libel ng mga mag-aaral. At inayos naman kung tumpak na dapat linangin. Ito ang ilan sa mga halimbawa ng pagproseso ng MELCS. Pinanatili kapag nahuhulaan ang susunod na mangyayari sa napakinggang kwento. Nasusuri kung opinyon o katotohanan ang pahayag. Ang lahat ito ay Filipino grade 1 at Filipino grade 4. So, pinanatili yan. Ito naman ay pinagsama o merge dahil ang bawat pahayag po ay magkapareho lamang ang patutunguhan, nagkaiba lamang sa talata at sa tula. So ang kabuuan ay bibigay ang paksa ng talata at tula. Tinanggal naman kapag nakagagawa ng sariling maikling pelikula. Ito ay pangkatang gawain. So sa panahon natin ngayon, wala po tayong face-to-face, kaya imposible po na ito po ay magawa ng ating mga mag-aaral. So ito po ay tinanggal. Inayos naman ang tatlong ito na mga orihinal na kasanayang pampagkatuto dahil pareho lamang po ang patutunguhan na iuulat, at naiuulat. Ang pagkakaiba lamang ay paaralan, silid-aralan at telebisyon. Ang kabuuan po na iuulat ng pasalita ang mga naobserbahang pangyayari sa paligid, bahay, komunidad, paaralan at sa mga napanood sa telebisyon, cellphone at computer. So yan po ay inayos at pinag-isa pareho po na kasanayang pampagkatuto sa grade 1. Sa case stage 1 o baitang 1 to 3, alamin natin ang pagkasunod-sunod ng spiral progression mula sa nauunawaan ng mga mag-aaral ang pasalita at di pasalitang paraan ng pagpapahayag, dumako sa ikalawang baitang, nasasabi ng mga mag-aaral ang pangunahing diwa. So yun na ang pangalawa, maayos na nakasusulat upang maipahayag at maiugnay ang sariling ideya, damdamin at karanasan. Sa ikatlong baitang, nakapagbibigay na ng kaugnay o katumbas na teksto. So ang tatlong ito po ang kinalabasan kung napansin ninyo sa K-12, 195 naging 48, 284 to 37, 272 to 55. Tama po kayo. Nung kami po ay nagkaroon ng pakighinabi, ito po ang natukoy na yung iba ay nagpaulit-ulit at pareho lang ang mga pagpapahayag. At ito po ang kinalabasan, breakdown ng bawat quarter sa case stage 1. Okay, sa unang baitang, ito po ang mga halimbawa. Nagkaroon po ng pinagsama o merge o clustered ang tatlong linangin sa mga kasanayang pagkatuto na nakalista sa ELC, kaya minabuting pagsamahin na lang ang mga ito gamit ang iba't ibang uri ng tekstong inilahad sa ELC. So ito na po ang pinakamahalagang kasanayang pagkatuto o MELCs na nabuo. Nasasagot ang mga tanong tungkol sa napakinggang pabula, tugma, tula at tekstong pang-impormasyon. So kung napansin ninyo, pinag-isama natin ang pabula, tugma, at tekstong pang-impormasyon. Sa ikalawang baitang naman, ang unang kasanayang pagkatuto ay pinanatili. Ito po, pinanatili. Samantalang ang tatlong kasanayang pagkatuto, sumunod ay tinanggal na dahil ito ay paulit-ulit na nabanggit sa loob ng isang baitang. Tingnan ninyo, ang Filipino grade 2 lahat ito, paulit-ulit na binanggit sa isang baitang. So, ang kabuuan, nagagamit ang unang kaalaman o karanasan sa pag-unawa ng napakinggang teksto. So, ibig sabihin, naging malinaw na po dahil pinagsama na po natin, pinanatili po natin at meron tayong tinanggal para maiwasan ang pag-uulit. Sa ikatlong baitang naman, may tinanggal na dalawa at may inayos at pinagsama. Paano? Ang dahilan, tinanggal na ang dalawang naunang kasanayang pagkatuto dahil ang mga ito ay kahalintulad lang ng mga sumunod na kasanayang pagkatuto. Pinagsama at inayos na lamang ang tatlong natirang kasanayan dahil ito ay lumilinang lang ng isang kasanayan. So itong dalawa ang tinanggal, isasalaysay muli ang napakinggan teksto, ito pareho lang, at inayos at pinagsama na merge po natin at ito na ang kabuuan na isasalaysay muli ang teksto ng may tamang pagkasunod-sunod ng mga pangyayari sa tulong ng pamatnubay na tanong at balangkas. So pansinin ninyo, pamatnubay na tanong at balangkas, pinag-isa. Sa case stage 2 naman, pansinin natin ang pagbabago. Baitang 4 to 6, ang pamantayan natin ay kakayahan sa pagbasa at pagsulat. May pahayag ang kaalaman, ideya at damdaming angkop. Sa ikalimang baitang, kakayahan pa rin sa pakikipagtalastasan at may pagpapahalaga sa panitikan. Sa ika-6 na baitang, kakayahan pa rin sa pakikipagtalastasan, mapanuring pag-iisip at pagpapahalaga sa wika, panitikan at kultura. So, ibig sabihin, may pagkasunod-sunod. Okay, ito na, kinalabasan. Ang laki ng diferensya, kung mapapansin ninyo. Ang halimbawa, pinagsama. Ang dahilan, ang pinagsama itong tatlo, pinagsama ang kasanayang nais linangin sa mga tukoy na kasanayang pagkatuto, kaya minabuting pagsamahin na ang mga ito. So, ang nabanggit dito ay pahayag, teksto at ulat. Tingnan natin ang kabuuan na pinagsama. Nasasabi ang sanhi at bunga ayon sa nabasang pahayag, napakinggang teksto at napakinggang ulat. O, tingnan ninyo, pinagsama. O, di ba? Mas naging matibay at naging mas malinaw. Sa ikalimang baitang naman, tinanggal itong lahat. Bakit? Nakasusunod sa 2-3 hakbang na panuto. Tinanggal itong lahat dahil sa napag-uulit-ulit na sa unang yugto o sa stage 1, nabanggit na, kaya inaasahan na master na ito ng bata pagdating sa kalimang baitang. Ang kompetensing ito ay kasama na rin sa iba pang kompetensi na nauukol sa pag-unawa sa iba't ibang teksto. At ang kompetensing ito ay magiging bahagi na ng proseso sa pagtuturo at pagkatuto bukod sa mahirap sukatin ang learning competency na ito. So ito ay hindi na pwedeng gamitin dahil ito ay tinanggal na upang magkaroon ng kalinawan. Nabanggit na kasi ito sa case stage 1. So sa baitang 6 o ika-6 na baitang, pinagsama naman natin ang 1, 2, 3, 4 na kasanayang pagkatuto. Ibig sabihin, 4 pinagsama. Ang dahilan, isa lamang ang kasanayang nais linangin sa mga kasanayang pagkatuto. Kaya Pinagsama-sama na ito sa isang MELC. Pansinin natin ang kabuuan, nasasagot ang mga tanong tungkol sa napakinggan at nabasa, napabula, kwento, tekstong pang-impormasyon at usapan. So ito na, ibig sabihin from 4 naging 1 dahil pinagsama na sa ika-6 na baitang. Let's proceed to case stage 3 o baitang 7 to 10. Kung napansin niyo ay pamamalas na mag-aaral ang kakayahang komunikatibo, mapanuring pag-iisip at pag-unawa at pagpapahalagang pampanitikan ng kulturang panrehiyon. Dito naman ay kulturang Pilipino. Dito naman ay pagkakakilanlang Asyano sa ika-9 na baitang. At sa ika-10 baitang ay sa kamalayang global. Ito lang ang pagkakaiba ng pamantayan ng case stage 3. Ngayon, alamin natin sa grade 7 from 169 down to 47, from 152 down to 73, from 179 sa grade 9 to 103, 198 to 135 ang grade 10. Alamin natin ang mga inayos at pinagsama sa kasanayang pampagkatuto sa ika-7 baitang. Ang dahilan, diba, kung napansin natin, ang keyword dito, kahulugan, 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 at kasing kahulugan. So, mahalaga ang kasanayang ito sa pag-unawa sa binasa na kailanganin ng mga mag-aaral, kaya inayos lamang ang pangungusap at pinagsama na sa isang kasanayang pampagkatuto ang mga paraan ng pagbibigay ng kahulugan para hindi na po paulit-ulit. So inayos at ito na ang naging kabuuan na ipaliliwanag ang kahulugan ng salita sa pamamagitan ng pagpapangkat batay sa konteksto ng pangungusap, denotasyon at konotasyon at batay sa kasing kahulugan at kasalungat nito. So ibig sabihin, isa na, malinaw na, mas klaro na. Sa ika-8 baitang naman, inayos lang din natin. Isinama ang kasanayang pagkatuto na ito dahil kailangan ng ating mag-aaral na maging mapanuri sa mga pinanood sa telebisyon para maging tiyak na ipinagagawa, isinaayos ang kasanayang pagkatuto para maging MELC. So, naging nasusuri ang napanood na pelikula batay sa paksa, layon, tema, gamit ang mga salita at mga tauhan. Sa ika-9 naman na baitang, tinanggal natin ito, itatanghal ang dulang panteatro na pumapaksa sa ilang napapanahong isyo, panlipunan sa kasalukuyan. Bakit tinanggal? Tinanggal na ang mga kompetensing hindi na magagawa ng mga mag-aaral ng mag-isa dahil nangangailangan ng face-to-face na ugnayan. At sa ika-10 baitang naman, nagagamit ang angkop at masining na paglalarawan ng tao, pangyayari at damdamin. Ito ay pinanatili dahil ang kasanayang ito ay tumutugon sa kahingian ng endurance na nagagamit sa pakikipag-ugnayan sa ibang tao. Ang kabuuan, nagagamit ang angkop at masining na paglalarawan ng tao, pangyayari at damdamin. Sa senior high school naman, mapapansin natin, sa core subjects, meron tayong 2, komunikasyon at pananaliksik sa wika at kulturang Pilipino at pagbasa at pagsusuri ng iba't ibang teksto tungo sa pananaliksik. Ito ang kasanayang pampagkatuto. Tingnan natin mula 33 down to 29 at sa pagbasa naman ay 15, wala pong nabago. Mananatili po yun. Pansinin natin ang tinanggal sa komunikasyon at pananaliksik, nakasusulat ng isang panimulang pananaliksik sa mga penomenang kultural at panlipunan. Bakit po siya tinanggal? Inalis na ang kasanayang ito dahil or sapagkat nabanggit na ito o umulit na ito ng magkatulad na learning competency. Kung mapapansin ninyo sa kabuuan na ulit na po. At ito naman sa pagbasa at pagsusuri, natutukoy ang paksang tinalakay sa iba't tekstong binasa. Pinanatili po natin dahil mahalaga ang kasanayang ito upang matutuhan ang mga susunod na kasanayang pampagkatuto at nakatugon ito sa pamantayan. Ika nga. Sa applied subjects, ito yung Filipino sa piling larang. Meron tayong academic, may sports, may sining at disenyo at technical vocational. Sa Filipino sa piling larang academic, isa lang po ang ang natanggal. Sa piling larang ay isa rin po ang natanggal at nanatili naman sa sining at disenyo at technical vocational. Pansinin natin ang pinanatili natin sa Filipino sa piling larang na kapag sasagawa ng panimulang pananaliksik kaugnay ng kahulugan, kalikasan at katangian ng iba't ibang anyo ng sulating akademiko. Bakit siya pinanatili? Dahil nakatugon ang kasanayang ito sa pamantayan at sa kasanayan sa pananaliksik. So mahalagang mahalaga ito. Sa malikhaing pagsulat naman o specialized subject, ika nga, mula 27, naging 26 lamang po. Ito yon, isinaayos lamang natin, natutukoy ang iba't ibang elemento, mga teknik, kagamitang pampanitikan sa panulaan. Isinaayos lamang dahil ginawang mas tiyak ang kasanayang pampagkatuto. Mas malinaw na naging natutukoy ang mga tiyak na anyo at kumbensyon sa panulaan. Paano gamitin ang mga MERP ngayon? So, ang mangyayari dahil ito ay pangkalahatan na at napansin nyo naman kanina na pinag-isa na, pinagsama na as one. So, hihimay-himayin nyo lamang sa isang linggo, kung isang MERP lamang, hihimay-himayin nyo lang para sa matiyak na kasanayang pampagkatuto. Paano gamitin ito? Halimbawa, ito yung pangkalahatan o pinakamahalagang kasanayang pampagkatuto. Paano hinimay? Naging kung ito ay nagagamit ng wasto ang mga pangalan at panghalip sa pagtalakay tungkol sa sarili, sa mga tao, hayop, lugar, bagay at pangyayari sa paligid, sa usapan at paglalahad tungkol sa sariling karanasan. Ito po ay sa ikalimang baitang unang markahan. Paano natin hinimay? Ito na, natutukoy ang kahulugan ng mga pangalan at panghalip, nakapagbibigay ng mga halimbawa ng pangalan at panghalip, nakapagbibigay ng reaksyon sa isang usapin, at naisasalaysay ang sariling karanasan. Ibig sabihin, ang nalinang po natin ay magkaiba, pero iisang MEROX lamang o competency, hinimay natin upang mas malinaw. So, mayroon po tayong kalayaan na himay-himay. So, ito, paano gagamitin? Ulitin ang ilang MERP, pwede po sa iba pang markahan ng bawat baitang kung kinakailangan sa lalong paglinang nito. Halimbawa dito, sa unang baitang, ikatlong markahan, ikalawang baitang unang markahan, ikatlong baitang unang markahan, pareho lang po na ulit lang natin. Dahil kinakailangan po. Pero MERP na po ito. Ito, kung napansin ninyo. Okay? Aktual na halimbawa ng listahan ng MELS, ito po makikita ninyo. So ito po ay uploaded na sa ating LR portal at sa ating LMS. Pumili ng mga magkasamang MELS na sasakto para sa 8 linggo. Maaring sumangguni din sa gabay pang kurikulum para sa pagpapasyang ito. Ang mahalaga, matarget ang mga kasanayang pampagkatuto na nasa MELS sa bawat baitang. Bukod sa pangsangguni sa gabay pang kurikulum, para sa pag-ulit ng isang kasanayang pampagkatuto at sa pagpapasyang pagsama-sama ng ilang MELS sa isang markahan, maaari ding sumangguni sa final na version ng MELS kung saan makikita ang mga code dito. Again, ang final na version ng MELS po ay nasa ating portal na at sa mga education program supervisor, meron na rin po silang kopya na pwede maibigay sa inyo. Meron na rin po yung code. Ang mga code ang nagsasabi ko ano-ano mga LC ang pinagsama-sama sa bawat MELC. Paalala lamang po, binibigyan laya ang mga guro na makapili ng mga magkakasamang MELC sa bawat linggo. Ang layunin sa pagpili ng mga MELC ay hindi upang palitan ang kasalukuyang curriculum guide, kundi upang magabayan ang mga guro sa pagtukoy ng mga kompetensing mas kinakailangan ng mga mag-aaral sa taong panuruang 2020 to 2021. So, ibig sabihin, hinihikayat pa rin ang mga guro na sumangkuni sa curriculum guide ng Filipino. Muli, isang pagpapala ang makapaglingkod sa bayan. Maraming salamat, pamilyang Filipino. Ito po si Ginang Mary Jane M. Mejorada, ang Education Program Supervisor ng Filipino.
Learning Management System.
Ayan po, our Regional Education Program Supervisor in Filipino, Dr. Mary Jane M. Mejorada. Maraming salamat po, ma'am, sa pagbibigay sa amin ng MELCS walkthrough sa Filipino. At this point, we will be reading some questions from our teacher participants, and also we will also be reading all the comments in our comment section. Okay, so I will be reading first, coming from the teacher participant of Santa Maria East District. Sabi ni Ma'am Anisita Hiatalia. Hello, good morning everyone. Shout out for Santa Maria East District. Okay, another shout out po, coming from Ma'am Sandria. Sabi niya, hashtag LMS Davao, hello from Buhangin Elementary School. Another one. Okay, this is from Ma'am Violeta Alain. Sabi niya, good day, still watching from Ogaw Elementary School, Nabunturan, Davao de Oro. See that? All the way from Davao de Oro. So for our attendance link, I'm pretty sure na na-flash na po dyan sa screen. It's https:// tinyurl.com/LMS-day2. Again, for our attendance link, it's tinyurl.com/LMS-day2. Ayan po, nasa screen na po. And please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to like to our Facebook page, Still It's Schools Division of Davao Occidental. Okay? Another one. On your screen, we can see there the comments coming from Sir Baltasar Marmito. Okay, sabi niya, good morning everyone, watching from Malagson Elementary School, Malita North District, Division of Davao Occidental. Hello po, sir. Okay, and to all the teachers of Malagon Elementary School, another shout out coming from Ma'am Kim Blanket Tampipi Talima. Sabi niya po, hello, still watching from beautiful district of Don Marcelino District. Ayan, with their PSDS, Sir Joel Villahermosa. Yan po. Another greetings here coming from Ma'am Jabilu Humaran. Sabi niya, gandang morning po. Watching from Feliz Elementary School, Malita East District. Learning is the best investment. Indeed. Kaya may thumbs up pa si Ma'am Jabilu Humaran. Okay. We have another post. Ayan, may nakapag-post na po for today's session. Okay, I think it's from Ma'am Timmy Grace Cristal of Benjamin National High School of Malita East District. Okay, if you can see on the screen, meron siyang hashtag LMS DavOc, hashtag Sulong Edukalidad, and hashtag We Learn as One. Okay, meron din siyang hashtag DepED. Okay, ang ganda-ganda naman ni Ma'am Timmy. Okay, next on screen, you can see also another post coming from Ma'am Grace Y. Salvacion. It's day 2 LMS dito. Nagpa-heart-heart pa si Ma'am Grace. At meron din siyang hashtag LMS DavOc and hashtag Sulong Edukalidad. Teacher participants, please do not forget to put also the hashtag SDO DavOc We Learn as One. Kindly include that hashtag also. Again, hashtag LMS DavOc, hashtag SDO Davao we learn as one, and hashtag LMS Davao. And hashtag Sulong Edukalidad. Ayan. Okay, another post coming from our teacher participant. It's from Ma'am Kim Blanket. So I guess it's done already. Another one, Ma'am Mol. Okay. So please do not forget, teacher participants, to post your comments on our comment section, and you can also post your queries regarding for today's topics. You can put that one on the comment section with your full name, name of your school, and name of your district. Okay, this time it's from Queen Daily Dian B. Ayan, Division Training of Trainers on LMS Utilization Day 2. Meron din siyang hashtag LMS Davao, hashtag Sulong Edukalidad, and hashtag SDO Davao We Learn as One. So let's happy working together because this is to all our learners. Okay, I'm pretty sure that for today's topics, we've learned a lot coming from our different education program supervisors in kindergarten, in MTB, and in Filipino. Okay, again, please do not fail to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Schools Division of Davao Occidental. And please do not forget to like on our Facebook page. It's Schools Division of Davao Occidental. Okay, let me remind again for your attendance. Link for today, it's tinyurl.com/LMS-day2. Again, for our attendance link for day 2, it's tinyurl.com/LMS-day2. And for our evaluation link, later we will be posting that one. So make sure po nakababad tayo, nakatutok tayo sa ating session for today because we will still be learning with the other learning areas in walking through our most essential learning competencies. Okay? So, again, our attendance link is posted already in our comments section. So kindly visit our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Okay? So let me see some posts, Ma'am Mol. I'm pretty sure that our teachers are on fire. Kasi malapit na po ang pasukan. And we learn as one as we are here in the endless possibilities na province. Because we always believe that our division always believe also that we will turn your visions into reality. Okay, pa-shout out po hi to Dr. Almer T. Davis and to all school heads of Sarangani District. Hello po, Sir Almer. And to all the school heads also. Okay, and also to the teachers of Sarangani District. Okay, another shout out coming from the teacher of Malita East District, with our PSDS, Ma'am Antonita E. Corpus. Ayan, hello everyone sa Malita East District. Okay? So this time, I'm sure that you are still on your mind of posting of your queries for today's sessions. Let me remind again that please do not forget to post your queries on our comments section with your full name, name of your school, and the name of your district. Okay? So this time, I will be calling our PSDS, our division focal person in MTB MLE, online live from the school's division office, Sir Elvin L. Carabalye. Okay, baka po meron kayong additional information, kindly put that one on our comment section. And also, we will be asking those queries to our focal person in MTB MLE. Okay. Sir Elvin, hello po.
Hi, Ma'am Gay. Good
Okay
morning.
po.
Ah,
Yes, ayan. Sir, baka meron po kayong additional info po regarding the walkthrough on MTB MLE po.
bali ano lang siguro Ma'am Gay, bali ano lang alam ko parang wala masyadong mga tanong yung mga participants natin. So ibig sabihin talagang naiintindihan nila kung bakit tayo nagkakaroon na tinatawag natin na most essential learning competencies kung saan alam naman po natin ang mga dahilan dahil sa pandemic, then shorten yung calendar of activities natin, saka yung mga iba't ibang delivery modes. Kaya ginawa natin ito para talagang ma-address yung pangangailangan ng ating mga learners. Pero isa lang ang dapat nilang tandaan o dapat nating tandaan na kahit na lumiliit yung tinatawag natin na mga competencies, pero hindi tayo dapat mag-alala kasi sinisiguro naman po ng ating mga opisyal sa DepED na yung tinatawag natin na grade level standards ay talagang mami-maintain. Mami-maintain yung grade level standards. So kahit na lumiliit man yung competencies natin, pero sinisiguro naman po nila na ito talaga yung kinakailangan ng ating mga learners. Yung tinatawag na endurance, dumaan ito sa isang endurance criterion. Ibig sabihin, talagang yung mga competencies na lumabas, na yung tinatawag natin na most essential, ay ito talaga yung mga kinakailangan ng ating mga learners for their lifelong learning. So siguro kana lang akong madugang, and I hope nga ang atoang mga teachers we will really plan, we will budget our time para yung mga competencies na yung talagang naiwan o yung lumabas na yun sa MERS ay talagang maituro natin ating mga learners para kahit na nandito tayo ngayon sa sitwasyon na ito, pero tulad ng sabi nga ng ating mga officials, learning must go on amidst this pandemic. So yun lang siguro Ma'am Gay. Thank you.
Ayan, thank you so much po, Sir Elvin, our focal person in MTB MLE. Thank you for joining us today. Goodbye po, sir. And God bless. Keep safe always.
Learning Management System.
Ayan, thank you very much once again kay Sir Alvin. And later today, we will give you the links for our evaluation form. And again, do not forget our attendance link. Right, Ma'am Jinli?
Yes, Sir Ralph. And we are done with our morning session of the day 2 of this division training of trainers on Learning Management System or LMS.
We will see you po this afternoon as we continue the walkthrough of MELCs in the learning areas of English, Science, and Mathematics. Again, in the learning areas po of English, Science, and Mathematics. So yan ang dapat ninyong pakaabangan.
That's right, Sir Ralph. So our training will begin at 1:30 1:30 in the afternoon through your YouTube channel or Facebook page. It's Schools Division of Davao Occidental. So see you po this afternoon. Happy lunch and God bless everyone.
Thank you.
This is the Division Training of Trainors on Learning Management System or LMS Utilization of the Department of Education and Schools Division of Davao Occidental.
Para labanan ang banta ng COVID-19 sa ating bansa, mahalaga ang kooperasyon ng bawat isa. Ang pananatili sa loob ng bahay ay isa sa pinakasimple pero pinaka-epektibong paraan para hindi kumalat ang virus. Kunwari, ikaw ang tuldok na ito. Malusog ka at malakas. Lumabas ka ng bahay. Ang hindi mo alam, may nakasalamuha ka ng may COVID-19. Tandaan, mahirap malaman kung sinong may virus, pero madali itong maipasa sa iba. Pwedeng naipasa na pala niya ang virus sa iyo nung umubo siya, o bumahin. O baka naman ay nahawa na dahil humawa kayo sa parehong bagay na kontaminado. Ngayon ay mayroon ka na ring COVID-19. Isa ka ng carrier na makakahawa sa iba. Dahil maaaring ilang araw pa bago lumitaw ang sintomas na ubo, sipon, hirap sa paghinga at lagnat. Pwede ring wala kang nararamdamang sintomas, ngunit nakakahawa ka pa rin. Pag-uwi mo sa bahay, maaari mong mahawahan ang iyong pamilya. Kasama na rito ang lolo at lola mo o ang mga magulang mo na may edad. Sila ang may pinakamahina na depensa laban sa virus. Ang mga may sakit sa puso, diabetes, high blood, at iba pang pre-existing conditions, at mga buntis, mahina ang panlaban sa COVID-19. Kapag na-infect ang taong mahina ang immune system, posibleng magkaroon siya ng malalang karamdaman at kailanganing dalhin sa ospital. Sa patuloy na paglabas ng bahay at pagpunta sa pampublikong lugar, tinatayang maaari kang makahawa ng 3 pang tao at sila makakahawa ng mas marami pang iba. 20% ng mga nahawa ay maaaring maospital at dadami ng dadami ito habang mas kumakalat pa ang virus. Bukod sa dumaraming COVID-19 patients, marami pang ibang may sakit ang nasa mga pagamutan. Ang mga pasyenteng malubhang-malubha na ang karamdaman, hindi na maaasikaso. Wala ring lugar para sa mga pasyenteng may ibang karamdaman. Kaya nating iwasan ang patuloy na pagkalat ng COVID-19 kung iisipin natin ang kapakanan ng iba. Kailangan nating isipin at kumilos na parang bitbit na natin ang virus para hindi ito kumalat pa sa iba. Sundin ang social distancing. At hanggat maaari, manatili sa loob ng bahay. Kung talagang kinakailangang lumabas, panatilihin ang 1 metrong layo sa ibang tao. Maging malinis din sa katawan at sa kapaligiran. Parating maghugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig. At i-disinfect ang mga bagay na madalas hinahawakan. Ang mahalaga, mapabagal natin ang pagkalat ng COVID-19. Para mas kakaunti ang mga kailangang magpa-ospital at mabawasan ang mga Pilipinong magkakasakit. Magiging epektibo lamang ito kung mananatili tayo sa bahay. Sundin ang social distancing. Isang maliit na sakripisyo para sa buhay ng kapwa nating Pilipino. Tulong-tulong tayo. Let's beat COVID-19.
This is the Division Training of Trainors on Learning Management System or LMS Utilization of the Department of Education and Schools Division of Davao Occidental.